I know that every single day you see influencers, agency owners, entrepreneurs flash their, good cars, watches, luxury watches, yachts, pretty girls, sexy girls, right? The lifestyle in Dubai or whatever it is, tribe dashboards. And what you probably did is kind of, looked deeper into them. You watch their content, you see what they do, you kind of tried copying them, and maybe you copied everything, every step exactly, but it didn't work out the same way that you were thinking of, okay? And I'm guilty of this myself, right? I've copied other people and tried, doing what they do to kind of get the exact results they had. But in the end, it didn't really work out for me, okay? And it really feels frustrating when you don't get the result that, they do get, right? Maybe you're not uh, speaking or like getting, do you not want these results? But I'm just speaking in general terms, right? Just kind of what this is what success means in someone's eyes. So, uh, when you try doing that, you kind of feel frustrated, right? And you think like, why does this work for them, but it doesn't for me, right? I mean, we're living in the same world and you kind of do this similar stuff. So why did it work for them and not for me? Okay. And while you start thinking that, especially when, even if you are experienced, even if you're just starting out, like the whole online stuff, you start feeling frustrated, right? Because you tried copying them, it didn't work out, and now you're feeling, that it doesn't work. You have a lot of mixed emotions because you thought it's gonna work, it didn't work. You promised you, the luxury lifestyle and everything else, but it doesn't seem to work. Okay. Now, what I'll teach you in this video is a one psychological bias that will help you understand why it's happening, what sort of bias it is. So in the futures, you wouldn't have to be so emotional, right? For running this business, you don't have to be so emotional that you can get the results that you actually want. And I'm gonna explain everything, okay? So what it actually is that you see is you're seeing the result and not the environment that produced it. Okay. Now, what I mean by that, you see like those luxury cars, watches, pretty girls, yachts, and money and like Dubai lifestyle. But what you don't see or they rarely show it is they actually put in the work. Okay. So, they grind it for days, nights, every single day, maybe years, months, maybe decades for some people. They read books, they got the knowledge, they understood the new stuff, they just kind of found out, new stuff, they learned, they try stuff, and, maybe they got lucky, right? It could also be a factor. Maybe they just got lucky and, good for them, right? And you can't really repeat luck because again, luck is luck. And or maybe it's guess is this like a cringe photo which probably everyone has seen, the iceberg, the tip of the iceberg, they only see the success, but behind, under the water they see, hard work, persistence, late night, discipline, rejections, courage, criticism, changes, risks, passion, honesty, innovation, dedication, good habits. Okay, a lot of stuff goes into success, and that's why I got those results. Okay, and that, I mean, I don't mean that you cannot get results as well just by doing the exact same thing, but usually what happens and why people get frustrated because they're not getting the result that they see online. Okay, for some people they do. Again, maybe they just got lucky, but for your case, it could be the other thing because, right? I'm talking from my experience. That's why I want to make this video because I also sometimes get in the loop of frustration. Why doesn't that thing what doesn't work for me but works for the other person? And I just want to make this video so you could actually learn with me because this is like a new bias I learned. Okay, now for example, this is all made from human history, right? So when we used to live in tribes, in the villages, but there weren't, big skyscrapers, anything like that, people learn from other people, okay? From other people's mistakes, let's even call it like this, okay? So for example, we have random person one, okay? This is random person one. He ate a berry, right? Just, just for example sakes, just they they ate this berry, okay? And after a day or like a few hours, they died, right? They they got deleted from the life, okay? Because they ate the wrong berry. Okay. Now, random person two is also eating a berry, which is a strawberry, and they survived, right? Everything well for them. Everything went well for them. So you, as a person, when you saw this example, you're gonna, go up to them and see, okay, so this guy, right? Let me take a pencil. So this guy ate this berry and he died. Okay. So I'm not gonna probably pick that path. And I see that the other guy ate this berry, and he survived. So what I'm gonna do is probably you gonna go up to this guy, ask him where he found those berries, and gonna eat them. And you're probably not gonna even try another berry again, okay? Because you don't want to die. And this way, how like the human psychology, began working thousands of years ago, because you saw one person do it, and if it worked, you're gonna do it as well, right? Your human brain doesn't look why did this work, why it was like this and not the other way around. Your human brain, just based on survival, instinct, wants to see, okay, I ate this thing and I'm gonna survive. He ate that thing, he died. I'm not gonna eat it, right? I'm not gonna try it out. Some people, obviously, there are exceptions that they're gonna try it out because they feel, smart or anything like that, but they'll probably die as well. Okay? So what I'm trying to get down to you, nail down to you, is we as humans have been programmed in a way to see what works, right? Not something why this work, what sort of environment it is to make it work. Our human brain is there to see if it works. If it works, cool, I'm gonna do it. So that's why you copy stuff, because when you see someone else, flashing those fancy cars and everything, you're gonna see, okay, it worked for this dude, it should be work for me. Okay, you're not asking how did it work, right? Or why did it work? You're just asking, okay, if it does work for him, it's gonna work for me. Okay, in theory, it should be this way, but sometimes it isn't. Okay, and the problem is that your brain doesn't naturally ask why something worked, it asks what worked. Okay, that's what kind of went over already. So the best, I guess, psychological thing to kind of answer this whole thing is it's called survivorship bias. Okay, and it even has a whole story behind it. Okay, this is also a new thing I learned, but that's why I'm recording this video for to explain the whole thing, because I was also struggling with this myself. So basically, in World War II, okay, when there were planes, war is happening. I'm guessing you heard of it. Um, there are planes coming back, and the scientists or whatever did they call them, like mechanics maybe, they saw that all of the ships, let's pick another color, uh, all of the, not the ships, all of the planes that come back got hit in these areas, right? It got in these, right? And what they thought, once they see these planes coming back, that they think they need to reinforce these spots just because they're getting hit a lot. Okay, because if they are getting hit a lot, if we reinforce those spots with more metal or more harder material, it means they're gonna become less, they're gonna have less bullet holes. Okay, but there was one side, I guess, statistician or something, like the person who counts the statistics or whatever, something like that. Do not know the exact names of those guys. uh what he thought is, because these were the planes that were actually coming back. Okay, now what they didn't take into account when trying to reinforce like these parts, is they were only seeing the planes that did come back. What they were not seeing is the planes that didn't come back. Now, what that means, all of the planes that got hit in the motors, right, in the fuel cans and this part of the plane, or like the middle of the wings, none of them came back. What that means, only our whole perspective was on seeing the survivors, the planes who did come back. And what we didn't see is the planes that didn't come back and where they were hit. So now what it means in other terms, they didn't need to reinforce these parts. What they need to do is reinforce these parts, because if these parts get hit with bullets, uh, the plane crashes. Okay? Now, this is the exact same thing that happens with, your life, with entrepreneurs, agency owners. You see agency owners, making, seeing success. I'm just putting up money just because it's easiest way to count success these days. So you see agency owners that success, they flash again the fancy cars or watches on, Instagram, YouTube, whatever. But what you don't see, because this is only the survivor, right? These are the people that actually made success. But what you don't see is all of the, thousands upon thousands of people that tried it but didn't work. Okay? So what you are seeing is only the survivor, which is, the successful agency owner. And what you don't see is all the people that left the space, didn't work out, or what they tried, and all of those stuff. Okay? Because maybe this guy started, 10 years ago, and now he has like the accumulative, success, or back in the days, it was obviously, I guess, Not obviously easier, but some sorts. For example, a few years ago with cold email, I used to get, insane reply rates. Right? These days they're a bit lower. I still get, success with it, but then you just send more volume in that case. Okay, but obviously didn't have, AI and better software to do cold email with, which now I have. So again, if it was easier, not sure. I have AI and that kind of stuff right now. Okay, but not steering off the topic. These are the only the survivors, and you don't see all of the other stuff. Same way with the plane. They saw, I guess, they saw all the planes that did come back, bullet holes, in other spots. But what they didn't see is all the planes that did crash and where they were hit. Okay, so it's the same thing with cold email, right? I'm gonna explain with cold email. That's because we're best at. So for example, we have the conditions and the end result we want to get. Okay, we want the end result we want to get. So if you want to get a lot of bookings, you need to have the perfect conditions, right? For example, you copy someone else's cold email strategy, and you need to have, the good email infrastructure, your good niche, not a good niche, sorry, your niche, lead list, copy, competition, time of the year, offer, market situation, okay? Now, when you have all of those and you copy the exact system from that person that you kind of copied, then you're probably going to get a lot of bookings, okay? But even if one thing, let's say even the competition or like the offer is slightly different, most likely the result is going to be the same and you're not going to have the exact same results. This could be that you might get even better results, right? But it could also be that you're going to get worse results. Okay. I hope you're understanding this whole topic that I'm trying to, nail down to you. That even if you copy, it doesn't mean it's going to be the exact same, okay? Because there are variables, right, that you cannot really fix. For example, time of the year, right? When the person recorded that video, it was, 2 years ago, and they had amazing results, for example, with Loom videos. Now, this time of the year, you're probably not going to get the same exact results with the exact same Loom system, okay? Because the game is different. It's just different. So what you gotta, nail down is actually, you know, it isn't all about copying, it's about getting results, testing, adjusting the variables, and not being frustrated if you don't get the exact same results. Okay? Now, again, you might feel frustrated, like if you copy the fucking exact same system, but you're not getting the results. You become frustrated, you bite your computer. I mean, she did. And you just gotta think of in a different way. Not think again. The whole example with tribes or like the survivorship bias. Don't think of it like, hey, how did it, like what worked? Think how did it work? What was the environment behind it working? Was it a niche? Was it, was a specific time of the year? Was it, just the copy itself, the email sending tool, the warm up, the inboxes, or whatever? There's so many things that come into place that you gotta take care of because if you see only one reel on Instagram, someone going their success, maybe you're doing cold calls and you show a cold call script that, worked for them, but doesn't work for you because you might have a different accent. Maybe you have the same accent, but you have different tonality. Maybe that guy that showed an Instagram reel has 10 years of experience doing cold calls and he's amazing at it. And you just started out, right? There's so many things that come into place that, you have to take care of. So don't be so harsh on yourself if it doesn't work, okay? You just gotta think of better ways, test new things, iterate new things, and keep on testing until you get the best result possible. Okay? And it even happens, I guess it even happens more for, let's say, intelligent. And I'm not saying that I'm intelligent or any of you guys are not intelligent. I just mean that some people, just from learning, for example, when they were in school, whatever, for example, if you put in a lot of effort and you are intelligent, then you get predictable results. Okay? And when you don't get that, right? When you don't get that, then it becomes kind of hard because it's weird, right? You copied, you did everything the same, you put in the effort, you thought you were smart, you did it the smart way, but you didn't get results, the other person did it. Okay? So you just gotta be, again, don't be hard on yourself, make everything a bit easier and just gotta think, test. If it doesn't work, test again. If it doesn't work, test again. If it doesn't work, keep on testing. You'll find a winner eventually, and then you'll be, good at it. Okay. And just to kind of like, I guess, summarize things, right? Is it's a survivorship bias. Everything you see online, it may not be true. And if it is true, maybe it isn't the exact same uh, conditions that you have right now, and you may not have the exact same success, or you maybe, if you copy them, you might get even better success. Okay, so you just be open to the ideas. Don't be strict on yourself. Don't be frustrated when something doesn't work. If you even if you copied, everything exactly, to every step, it sometimes it's just the environment. Okay, and yeah, I hopefully made this topic uh easy to understand, right? This is a completely different medium than I'm used to recording. Just to, it's like a psychological biases. I'm usually just do cold email stuff. Uh, yeah, and if you are open to the idea, feel free to join my free Discord community. If you want to ask me any questions, I'm always there, almost 24/7. I answer questions if you need me. And yeah, just it'll be the first link down below. Join it, and I'll talk to you soon. Have an amazing day.